and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and today I have a little bit different of a vlog for you. So you go into the bookstore or the library or wherever you choose to find your books, and you don't always see just the covers of the books because they're facing like this on the shelves. So what I decided when I went to the library, there's a few books that have always caught my attention, but I've never picked them up because I don't know anything about them, and I finally decided to try a vlog that is judging a book by the spine. So I have picked 3 books specifically by their spines. 2 are in the general fiction section of the library and 1 was in the fantasy. So the first book, this one is Carrie Morey. This is by Thomas Harris. He wrote The Silence of the Lambs. This has beautiful foiling all along the cover and the spine. This is one I've looked at so many times at the library and I've just never picked it up. And so now I finally did. This one, I checked it this morning and I believe it had a 2.83 average rating on Goodreads, so not very good. It is not very well liked apparently. But I'm going to try it out and see what I think of it. The next book that I am going to read is The Stationery Shop, and this is by Marjan Kamali. I'm not sure if that is right or not, but this one, again, beautiful foiling, beautiful cover, and the foiling on the spine as well. I believe had a 4.22, so this one seems like it's gone over pretty well for those who have read it. And just looks gorgeous. And then the last one that I chose, mostly because the colors were just really eye-catching, and that is Innate Magic, and this is by Shannon Fay. This one is a fantasy book, it's either 3.4 or 3.6, something like that. I'll put it up on the screen, but it was a 3 point something. This one, colors of it just really caught my eye and it was just really intriguing to me. So these are the 3 books that I'm gonna read for this vlog, and see if you can judge a book by the spine. And I didn't give you a synopsis for any of these because I don't know what they're about, but I'm just gonna try them out. I'm gonna go in completely blind to all 3 of these books, and I will update you once I have started. I'm not sure which one I'm going to start with yet, but I will update you when I have something to say or when I know a little bit about what these books are about. Alright guys, so I am now 65 pages into Carrie Morey, and I don't understand what the hell I'm reading right now. Like, it feels like it drops you into the middle of the story. There is no background information whatsoever. There's a bunch of random characters that you don't know anything about them. There is nothing definitive about them or anything like that. It's all surrounding Pablo Escobar's old house, and they are looking for some kind of a treasure or something in this house, in the basement or something. They don't know exactly where it is or what, and it doesn't say what they're actually looking for. So far I don't like this book. I don't think it's well written. I don't think it's interesting. I am confused, and so far I don't like it. So at 65 pages, I am already considering a DNF for this first book, and I'm gonna try to keep reading it for a little bit longer, see if maybe something happens, but at least for right now, I am not impressed, and hopefully, I don't know, we'll see. But I will update you when I get a little bit further. If I have more thoughts or if I DNF it, I will let you guys know. And yeah, that's all I've got for you now. I wanted to give you a really quick update. I finished just like 20 minutes ago Carrie Morey by Thomas Harris, and oh my goodness, this book, I hated this book. I did not like it at all. I didn't think that the characters were fleshed out. It was really, really hard to follow. The characters were flat and not interesting. Like, you didn't care about what happened to any of them. What this book is it talks about is this group of people that are trying to find a treasure of hidden gold under Pablo Escobar's mansion. And so it's all about how they're going to go in and they're going to manipulate who they need to try and get a hold of the gold and be able to make, I think it's like $25 million. But you're following so many different people that it's really, really hard to tell, like, to differentiate who is who and actually, like, understand what the hell is going on. The main character, Carrie Mora, you get perspectives of her, like, now when she's like 25, and then there's like random flashbacks to back when she was a child soldier and having to do stuff with that. So there's random time jumps, random perspective changes. You even get the point of view from a saltwater crocodile at one point. Like, it's so off the wall. I did not like this book at all. I gave it a 1 star. So it might have a beautiful spine and a beautiful cover, but this book, I did not like it at all. So already the first book is a flop. But I am going to start reading another one of the 3 this afternoon, and hopefully my ratings will go up from there. But so far, like I said, I gave this one a 1 star, and I just did not enjoy it at all. So I just want to check back in and give you an update. I did start Stationery Shop this morning. I am up to 79 pages in this one. So far, it's fine. I'm not like super thrilled with it or super into it, but it's not bad. The book is about the main character, Roya. She lives in Iran and is 17 years old, has met a boy, fell in love, he got permission, and they are bound to get married. It also has parts that are in the future when she is 77, lives in the States, and all you know is that something happened, and the man that she was supposed to marry when she was 17, something happened and he didn't show up, and he wasn't there. So she moved to the States, she moved on with her life, she met a man, she got married, and lived her life. But she's always wondered what happened to Bagman, the boy she met when she was 17, that made it to where he didn't show up that day. And so it starts out with her being 77, and her and her husband Walter are going into an assisted living facility, and she has an appointment to go and see Baglan. And it's all about her going in to see him and him saying that he's been waiting to her. And she says, well, I only have one question for you, and that is, why did you never show up? And then it switches over to when she's 17, and it starts telling the story about how she met him in a stationery shop in 1953. Like I said, I'm about almost 80 pages into it, and I feel like mediocre about it. It's not a bad book, and it's not like my favorite thing ever. It is beautifully written so far, and I do enjoy that. It has a little bit of Farsi mixed in with the writing. But what I really like when that happens in a book is when they have a translation or a rough translation directly afterwards, so you actually know what you're reading still, and not just, oh, here, let's throw in some other language that I don't know what it is and then move on. I actually know what they're saying, or at least for the most part. There's a couple of things like pet names and stuff that it says that he calls her that, but it explains that it's a pet name. It's a term of endearment. And so you kind of have at least an idea of what they're talking about when they say that. So far, like I said, I'm really mediocre about this book. It's not my favorite book of all time, but I am enjoying it. And there's still quite a bit left, so I'm not even a third of the way through yet, or I'm nearly a third of the way through. So I'm going to keep reading this today and see how far I get, and I will check back in with you when I have more thoughts on that. Okay, so I am still reading The Stationery Shop, and I am up to 229 pages. I'm on chapter 23, so I'm nearly finished with it. But I wanted to come on here and give you an update because this book, the second book that I am reading in 2024, had me sobbing. If you can't tell, my eyes are all puffy and my nose is all red. This book had me bawling. Oh my God, it broke my heart, and I just had to come on here and let you guys know that this book, oh my goodness, it's been like a 3 to 3.5 stars so far, I think, but oh my God, this one is, I cannot believe it. I did not expect that at all. This book was making me like just sob. Is so heartfelt right now, and it's just a difficult time that she is going through, and just something that just would break your heart if it was something that you were going through and you just wouldn't even know what to do with yourself. And she puts that in here, that that Roya, the main character in this book, that she's lost and she's depressed and she just doesn't know what to do with herself or how to go on with everything. And she says that the only reason that she was still continuing on was for Walter, her husband. And this book, oh my gosh, I did not expect it at all. But this book had me crying my eyes out. And I almost couldn't even see the words because my eyes were full of tears. So I just wanted to come on and let you know that I'm not finished with it yet. I do still have a little bit left to go, but oh my goodness, this book has already made me cry, and it is only the 10th? Yeah, it is the 10th of January, and already this book has made me cry. So I just finished The Stationery Shop, and I think overall I am going to give it like a 3.5 stars. This book was good, it was interesting, but the love story in it to me was just a lot of pining. They were 17, they fell in love, things got screwed up and they didn't work out. They moved on with their lives, and then 60 years later, they go back, or they meet each other again and find out that they were basically sabotaged. It was good. It was kind of slow. And like I said, Roya, because it's mostly from Roya's perspective, and I felt like it was just a lot of pining. Like, she moves on with her life, but always in the back of her head, she's like, oh, what would my life have been like? What could be different? You know, I love my husband. He's this amazing man, but he's not him. And so I don't know. It was really good. It made me cry. There really wasn't anything overtly wrong with this book. It just wasn't really there for me. It wasn't a fun romance by any means. It was a very serious romance. There were a lot of really difficult things that happened and that were a part of their story. There were issues with her to-be mother-in-law, Bauman's mother, that she had issues with depression, and she really was just a very problematic character. Like, she was somebody that was very self-centered, and she was just very problematic, that she just did not want her son Bauman to be with Roya, and that was that. And they were not going to change her mind. She was going to do everything she possibly could to sabotage this relationship and cause problems in this relationship, so that way she could get what she wanted, how she wanted it. She wanted her son to marry somebody else and stuff like that. it does talk a lot about her basically finding solace in cooking, which, and Roya finding that comfort in cooking, which I really like that, because I feel like when you are homesick or having a hard time, like, you really gravitate towards food. And her having those dishes that she would always make with her mother, and being able to make those in America and throughout her life, being able to make those dishes, they really brought a comfort to her. And that's really relatable to me, that like, if you make something that you loved ever since you were a kid, and it was always one of your favorite meals to have as a kid, that's something that brings a lot of comfort. And she really brought that into this book. And I really enjoyed that. I also mentioned when I first started it that when they have the Farsi dialect in here, their Iranian dialect in here, it immediately has a translation. So you know what they're saying, what they're talking about. It's not something that you're reading another language and you have no idea what's going on. She translates it for you, so you are aware of what they're saying or what they're talking about. You know what's going on. And I did really like that, because I hate it when I'm reading a book and I have no clue what they're saying. It's like, what's the point in that? So overall, like I said, I think I'm going to give this like a 3 to 3.5 stars. It was enjoyable. I did enjoy it. However, it just wasn't anything amazing. I don't feel like it was super memorable. I don't think this is going to be one that I'm going to be thinking about, 20, 30 books down the road through this year. I don't think it's going to be one that I remember, but I did enjoy it. So that's where I'm landing at. I am going to try, I think, to start Innate Magic this afternoon. That is the last book that I'm reading for this vlog. But I haven't completely decided yet. I might kind of change gears and maybe read one of my other like secret TBR books. But I haven't fully decided yet. I'm kind of just sitting on this one for right now. So I will check back in with you when I start Innate Magic and give you my first initial thoughts on that one. Hey guys, I just wanted to hop on here real quick and give you an update. I did end up starting Innate Magic yesterday. I am up to almost 150 pages. I'm on chapter 11. I don't understand what I'm reading. Like, the main character, his name is Paul. Him and his best friend Tom are cloth mages, which means that they can make clothing and imbue magic in them. And there was a bet between Paul and another guy that they were graduating from school with of who could make a better dress for this other guy's date. And that's how he met this girl named Verity, that she is a gossip columnist from the States, and they're over in London. And then there's also a guy that he meets that they find out that he is actually like basically magic police, that he can, he would have reason to arrest Paul because Paul has innate magic within him, which is basically that you break their bones and he has magical abilities. So this book is all over the place. Every time you turn the page, he is talking about having a crush on somebody else. The book starts out that he thinks that the maid in this house is cute, and then it turns around that he dated his professor for a while, was sleeping with his professor, what was his name, like Christian or Christopher Lamb. And then he talks about how Verity, he has a crush on Verity and how beautiful she is. And then he talks about how he has a crush on this magic police guy and how he's so interesting, but now Verity has the top slot because they kissed. And like, this book is going nowhere at all. It is all over the place. He tells random story about the history of London and like the Roman Empire and stuff and magic. And he has crushes on everybody, boy or girl, it doesn't matter. He loves everybody and he thinks everybody's so hot and he wants to sleep with everybody. One of the girls that he's friends with, Gabs, she pretty much told him at one point that he would sleep with a rug if there was nothing else available. And that is inherently true because this guy likes everybody. So right now, I don't like this book. I don't like how it's written. It's not going anywhere. I feel like I'm wasting my time with reading this because I'm not enjoying myself. And this is another one that I am thinking about DNFing because I have no interest. Like, where the hell is this supposed to go? Because it's gone through so many different things in this book already, and I'm 150 pages in, and there is no guidelines as to what this is supposed to be about. There's no, like, generic idea that it's following. There's a tiny little thing that's starting to come up that might possibly be a part of it, but knowing how this book has gone so far, it'll be solved in the next 2 chapters. Like, this book has gone absolutely nowhere. It says he's delightfully cheeky, unquestionably charming, and sometimes maddeningly naive. I think he's just annoying as fuck, to be completely honest with you. I don't like him. I think the side characters are completely flat, and I just don't like this book. So I don't know if I'm going to keep reading this one or not. I haven't completely decided it yet. I've been debating all day. I started at like page 60 or so this morning, and all day I've just been debating on DNFing it because I don't care and I don't like it. So as of right now, I'm not entirely sure. I'm trying to stick it out just like I did with Carrie Mora, but this book is like 380 pages, I think. Just about. It's 373 pages. And the way that it's going, I'm not even halfway through the book yet. And I don't want to keep reading it. I really, really don't. I am extremely tempted to just end this vlog here and just say that basically you cannot judge a book by the spine, which I know that was going to happen, but just because it has a beautiful spine doesn't like automatically mean that it is a good book. And like, I knew that was going to happen, but I didn't realize it was going to fail this badly, that I have a 1 star, a 3 star, and now this one at most is going to get a 1.5 to 2 stars. Like, at most. If I finish it, if I even finish it, because I'm not going to rate it if I don't finish it. So I will come back because I have to go and get my kids soon. Okay, so I thought about it last night and I decided that I am, after all, going to DNF Innate Magic. I have no interest and I just don't want to keep reading it, so I am going to DNF this one at 148 pages. I made it up to chapter 11 and I don't care. I don't like the writing and I just don't want to keep reading something that I'm not enjoying. I'd rather start making something else and reading something else that I can vlog for you that I'm actually going to enjoy, rather than telling you how much I hate this book. So I am DNFing this one, which means I am not going to give this a rating. However, I did actually struggle through and finish Carrie Mora by Thomas Harris. I ended up giving this a 1 star. I did not enjoy it. And I finished The Stationery Shop by Marjane Kamali, and I gave this one like a 3.5 stars. It was good, but I think it was kind of forgettable, and it wasn't bad, but it wasn't my favorite. So this one kind of hit middle ground for me. So in choosing the books based off of just their spines when I saw them at the library, things didn't go as well as I had hoped. I hoped I would enjoy them a bit more, so I am very bummed about that. But it was fun to try it out. I read some things that were different and definitely some things that I normally would not pick up if I would have really scoured the synopsis of it, and I probably wouldn't have picked it up otherwise. So I am glad that I did. And even though it was kind of a flop, I'm excited to bring some other things and to try some new things as well. So if you enjoyed this video, please let me know. I would love to hear from you. If you've read any of these, if you've enjoyed them, if you thought the same that I did, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. If it ain't magic, if I just stopped it too soon, I would be curious about that. If you have any other thoughts or any other videos that you would like to see from me, please also let me know down in the comments. Other than that, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I have a lot of plans and I hope to do a lot of fun things in 2024. This hopefully will just be the very start of it. Anyways, happy reading and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.